So as the price of food goes up, there will reach a tipping point for each of the commodities where importing will be cheaper than growing locally. And our strategy is to try and stop us from getting to this tipping point by addressing the issues that are undermining our productivity.
We anticipate by the year 2050, the population of this country will have doubled, and in that case, we should be able to produce above what we produce by 70%. When the government realized this, through our ministry, we devised a strategy that first will transform the way we are doing agriculture, a strategy that will drive production and productivity of this country to new levels. We have all along depended on rain-fed agriculture, which we already realize through those methods we cannot be able to feed our country. We have also realized that 80% of our farmers are small-scale farmers, holding less than 2 acres of land. In those small-scale farms, we can rarely be able to do mechanization. We have also realized that without large-scale farming in this country, we may not feed this country.
Healthy, thriving Kenyans are a priority for the United States government. That is why our Global Hunger and Food Security Initiative, implemented through Feed the Future, is partnering with the government of Kenya to address malnutrition with a focus on women and children. As partners, we have made significant progress towards improving the nutritional status of Kenyans, but we still have a long way to go.
Malnutrition has remained a burden to this country, and we are not going to achieve the 100% food and nutrition security if we do not reduce the levels of malnutrition in this country. And therefore, the purpose of this conference.
What we have at the university is we have various programs that train students in various areas along value chain, starting from looking at the soil. We have areas that focus on soil health, and how we can look after the soil that it gives highest productivity. Then we have an area that looks at development of new varieties, this genetics breeding, which is also an area that is being focused on by various universities in Kenya.
Some of the demand creation methodologies that we have used is on image building, just making sure that consumers are engaged, but using different methodologies for rural consumers and urban consumers, and messaging, and ensuring that this is a consistent trend to drive what it is that, and I think yes, and in one of the sessions I did mention that at some point in one of our studies we realized that the farmers were not consuming the traditional African vegetables. Of course, very nutritious, but they all thought this is for the markets. And so we had to do a lot of image building, and that is why you can see a chef in the village. We are trying to do a lot of campaigns and just making them know that it's good for you and for these reasons.
Country and national governments have tools to improve food systems, especially if they are able to bring the private sector and other partners involved. And again, as you know, malnutrition is in all its forms, including undernutrition. micronutrients deficiencies, overweight, and obesity not only affects people's health and well-being, but also poses a high burden in the form of negative social and economic consequences to individuals, families, communities, and the country.
I think we're doing multiple things. We do a lot of value chain work around in crops and dairy, and in the north we do a lot of stuff around livestock. So in respect to the north, if we're talking about resilience, it's looking at the market system of the livestock itself, but also what are the alternative markets that are available, right? And so we're also trying to expand the definition of what those markets mean.
The problem we have in Kenya is not that we have smallholder farmers. The evidence is, I've been in the rice industry. We started developing the increasing rice production from 2008 to 2018. At 2008, the production from irrigation schemes was 54,000 metric tons. And our target was to double that one. By 2018, using the smallholder farmers, we had increased the rice production in Kenya from 54 to 160,000 metric tons. So it is doable. So the thinking that it is only large-scale farmers which can do it is not there.
Within the adolescent stage also, it's a neglected stage, yet it's very critical to human and economic development. There is need for us to invest in adolescents because we get to have a triple benefit where we have better health for these adolescents now, we have improved well-being and also productivity of them in their adult life, and also we reduce the health risk for their children because at this point we're able to break the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition.
The Global Nutrition Report of 2018 categorized our country as facing triple burden of malnutrition, where we have undernutrition coexisting with overnutrition and micronutrient deficiency. What that means is, as a country, we have to more than triple our efforts in addressing all forms of malnutrition.
When we are talking of a world free of hunger and malnutrition, we want to address it through supporting development of food and agriculture in the rural areas and of course in various countries. We want to improve the standards of all, especially the poor, who are likely to face the challenges of sufficient food. And as FAO, we stand at a position that we have an advantage, a position of advantage. We have the knowledge and we are global. And therefore, we always see that that pivotal position will help us address issues across different countries and in different social strata.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I have enjoyed the sessions that we had. I felt that there was a lot of learnings, a lot of new information, and many of you would agree with me. And what I felt as I listened to each of the sessions from day one, overall moderator, was that a lot of information with people, but we are hearing it for the first time. How can we put all these informations together to a place that is central where you can access it? Information we have, but scattered information. Perhaps it's time to think, can we have a central repository? I know this has been touted and perhaps even recommended.
But is it now time